Hey, ladies, welcome on back. Welcome back to this space. Today, we are talking about you, my darling, who has been thinking of starting a business, but that's where it ends at the thought. Today, this one is for you. And it's interesting because I used to say about myself that I don't see myself as a business owner. It's something that I just couldn't envision. I used to say that this world has people who are made for employment and others who are made for business. And I certainly did not used to see myself as the business category. And yet that's where I am today. I've started my own business and I thought to come here and let you know that this is something that's possible for you as well. So, one of the things I guess I did, I say I guess because I've written it down in my notes, but now I'm thinking about it, I must have, is to embody her. Yes, I did embody her. I needed to like get into her skin. There are different timelines. Life doesn't happen all in one straight line. There are different versions of you going on at different times, and you get to choose the version of you want to be. You are creator. You are the one who decides what's happening in your life. That is why when you have really dull, draining thoughts pulling you down, things in your life are just not going to be going very well. And when you have much more high vibe kind of thoughts, things just happen well. First of all, it could be that you just don't see. You don't notice when you're in a low vibrational state, when things are just pulling you down, everything annoys you. Everything dawns on you as being troublesome and boring. When you stub your toe on the couch or on whatever, you start feeling the way things never work out for you. Yet when you're in a high vibrational state, if you stub your toe on the couch, you might not even notice it. It might just be a fleeting second of, "Ooh, that was painful." And then you go on with your high energy thoughts because that's where your mind is at. You're not available to be dragged down, you're available to be pulled up. So, embodying her, think of Beyonce and her Sasha Fierce. Can you imagine if Beyonce did not allow herself to be delusional long enough to imagine herself as a woman who could be sexy and take up the stage and, be someone else? Because she used to sing in a church choir. So singing in a church choir was one timeline, was a timeline that still exists, where we have a Beyonce who is still that version of Beyonce. And yet she chose to elevate herself and move into this other timeline. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with singing in the church choir. I used to sing in the church choir, but Beyonce. So you get what I mean? It's believing. I actually had to put on a mindset, and I would call her. So my businesswoman vibe person, I'd call her my rich self. Not even just my rich self. She's really something else, yeah? And she is a version of me today because I've stepped into her. And I amaze me sometimes I just sit down and I think, how did this happen? And one of the very first steps was this belief. Just this allowing myself in my mind to, first of all, believe that I can be that person. So giving away that old narrative that used to be in my mind that said that was not for me. If not me, then who? And it was also the fact that this is something that I found myself wanting. There's a part of my system that wanted it even before I myself became aware. I think of me as there's a person who's usually talking in my head, the one who's the narrator. And then there are different versions of me who are at play at different levels. Like there's the inner child, there's the higher self. There are all those people who are playing within me. And I talk about this in my book, Date Like Cleopatra, the different versions that we have within ourselves, the saboteur and all those kind of people. But where was I going? So yes, the narrator, the me who is usually there talking in my head, was not consciously aware of wanting to be a business person. It was a longing deeper within. And I say this because I found myself applying for courses. I applied for a course that had to do with business. And I just happened to do it. So I did the course, and even as I was doing the course, I wasn't consciously aware of wanting to be a business owner. And it was as the course was going on and everyone was talking about wanting to do business that I realized, wait, I'm here because I want to be a business owner. And that then pushed me towards stepping into my own Sasha Fierce moment, into stepping into the version of me who was already a business owner, a successful business owner. And so I called her towards me. I started doing what she was doing. I asked myself, what does the successful business owner version of me do? What does she eat? How does she sleep? How does she live her life? So, those kind of things. And I started doing those things and found myself stepping into her. So, embodying her. Yes. Oh, cool. The other big thing, and I don't know if that's the next one I should go to. I think I'll go there. It's about beliefs. So for me, the belief was that I do not see myself as a business owner. I am not a business owner. I am terrible with money. This is not made for me. I can never, I can never strive. I can never do well in that world. You see, the things that you say, my mom used to say that there's a strength in your words. The things that you say, the things that you speak, even internally to yourself, are going to be because you are creating it. So here I trust that the universe knows I was only saying all that as an example to you. I believe now. I believe that I am a successful business owner. How do you see yourself? What do you believe about yourself, money, and business? So for me, my beliefs about money are something that I've been working on for some time. I have come from a background where money was scarce. No, not because we were poor, we've never been poor, but just this kind of feeling that is drummed in that there's not enough money. You need to work really, really hard to get your money. Things you need to strive. Money doesn't come easily and stuff like that. So these are the belief systems that I had in my mind. And I became exposed to different ways of thinking, different ways of viewing the world. And one of them was Napoleon Hill. I like Napoleon Hill in his book Think and Grow Rich. So I like those things because it's more, I want to say abstract, but that's not the right word. It's more out of this world. I've just started Dan Brown's new book, Secret of Secrets. And I just love the direction that it's going in. It's much more of this consciousness and stuff like that. And that's what Napoleon Hill talks about. There's what we have in science today that is just firm and straightforward, and this is what happens and this does not happen. And you're considered a little crazy if you think of things in a different way. But sometimes dare to be crazy. Dare to be crazy. If being crazy is what's going to get you to where you want to be, being being considered crazy by other people. So long as you know yourself, none of that matters. So long as you're connected to your true self, you're connected to the powerful you. You're connected to the you who knows everything and can get nothing wrong. Yeah, the divinity within you. Once you have that connection, you don't need to appease the rest of the world. It doesn't matter what anyone else wants of you or thinks of you because you're aligned to something much more powerful. Yes. So when you have that in mind, and I've lost track of what I was saying, your beliefs. If you allow yourself to open the door to a new way of seeing things, it is difficult. I mean, I've done this myself. Reviewing your beliefs is hard. It's quite hard because it means that it feels like the ground beneath you is shaking. It is disappearing. It feels like you're in a matrix because the belief systems that you have are what have created the reality that you live in. Yeah. So once you start picking at some of the beliefs and questioning them, and lo behold, if they fall away and turn out not to be real, your identity, your ego feels threatened. Because then if that's not true, what else is not true? And more importantly, then who are you? If you are not the person who believes that Black people have to be poor, African people have to be poor, or whatever other notion it is that you have in your mind, or that women have to be poor or secondary, then you lose part of the firm ground that you've been standing on. And that is dreadfully uncomfortable. And yet, if you're able to take these thoughts and notions and look at them, just look at them critically and ask yourself, you, so me, which is what I did, me, in this existence that I have now, this experience that I'm having in this world, do I want to be secondary as a woman? And my answer was no. Do I want to be poor as a black woman? My answer was no. What was the other one? Do I want to believe that money is hard to come by? The answer was no. And that was it. Being able to rethink the fabric of my reality changes my reality. I allow myself to live in a world that has different rules, because I am then moving into the timeline. I'm moving into the reality that has those rules that I have now created for myself. And I see it over and over again. Now, this is not abstract. I see it over and over again. I'll tell you the example of something. I bought something. I won't go into the detail of what it is. I bought something at a time when I was feeling, internally, I was feeling that things were about to fall apart. So I just quit my job, and it's at a point when I realized I'm not getting a paycheck. I'm not getting a paycheck this month. So I'd been confident about quitting my job, and generally everything was fine, but sometimes you go through some waves. And at that point I was going through a wave of, it was a little panic that was settling in. And I was asking myself, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? How am I going to get through this? And what I found myself doing is, there's this shop that I pass very often. I've passed it very often and I've never gone in because I think it's too high end. That is not a shop for me. And then that day I just told myself, let's go. And I walked in. Initially, when I tried the door wouldn't open. And I initially thought to myself that, that is a sign you're not meant to go there. But yet another part of me said, hey, who closes doors at me? Do you know me? And so I insisted, I'm not moving anywhere until this door is open. And it was a security thing. They close it from inside so that, because what they sell is pricey. So I walked in. And then initially I thought that the attendant was going to be very mean. And this is strange because I've already been through this experience with something else. I had already gone to a high-end shop and just lived through this whole life and, done exactly this and come out on the other side unscathed. But now this was somehow different. And I think it was partly because I was being called and drawn into this experience because I needed to learn something and I needed to become someone else. So we go into the shop and the guy is super kind, super, super kind. And I didn't know what to do because all these things around me are things which are ridiculously out of my price point, especially at the point in time when I'm worrying about whether or not I'll ever get another paycheck, whether or not I'll ever see money again, that kind of thing. And I just start browsing, and the guy wouldn't go away. The attendant was a very nice guy. He wouldn't go away, and I guess he's used to people like me. So initially, I was asking myself, "Oh, is he thinking that I'm wasting his time? Does he think that? Does he wonder why someone like me has walked into such a shop when there's nothing I could possibly ever afford?" Those are the kind of thoughts that are going through my mind. And this is me who has already started. I don't use words like can't afford or expensive and stuff like that. Those are not words I allow into my vocabulary. Why? Because if you use such words, again, remember what my mother said. The words you use become a truth unto you. She really used to say it in a nice way. I just can't remember how she'd say it. So if you say that you can't afford it, then you can't afford it. Yeah? If you say that this is not within the price range that I would usually expand myself into, something along those lines, you allow yourself the idea that one day, you might find a way of being able to come back and purchase the thing. So, at the time, I was just thinking down thoughts. It wasn't really uplifting thoughts. So anyway, I tried something and I didn't even like it. I didn't even like it. I looked around. So I think I was just being polite until making time before I left. But then I saw something actually. I saw something that I thought I'd like. And that one I tried and I thought, ooh, this is something. This is something. And the guy looked at it and saw the style and told me, wait. Then he went out and brought another one. Oh. Oh. That other one was on sale at a quarter of the price. So a quarter of the price was still higher than what I would usually pay. Yeah. But it was something that I could fathom. If I stretched myself, it's something that I could fathom paying. And then I put it on, and that was just that. I put it on and stepped into a different reality. I put it on and embodied her, my rich self, my business. That one was my rich self because she stood up in a different way. She was, tall and elegant. And honestly, I felt it inside. I felt it inside. And yet then I still came back to my head and I was trying to go back to the logic. The logic was, but really, we don't even know if you're going to have money. How can we do this? Daddy, 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 dad. But my tall self was super calm. My tall self was saying, we got this. Babe, we got this. And this is absolutely the process. As you might imagine, I bought it. And that purchase, quite frankly, elevated me in a way I can't describe otherwise. It elevated me. After that purchase, nothing had changed in my bank account, but I started believing. I started believing again that I was fine. And then I got some money out of the blue. Go figure. These things happen. These things happen. I got some unexpected money and oh my God, I hadn't figured this out. I've just realized this as I'm telling this story. The unexpected money that I got is more than 4 times the price that I paid. So it's more than the price of the original if I had purchased the original. These things happen and these things are true. Oh wow, that story has warmed me up. That story has warmed me up. And I hope what you take from it is the notion of being in a high vibe state, because that purchase has since then put me in a high vibe state. It's something that I looked at, that's something that I wear, and something whenever I'm around it, I'm reminded to be tall. I'm reminded that I am her. I'm the one who is allowed to have these amazing things, and more amazing things are coming into my life if I just let them. Yes. I feel we've gone dramatically off topic. But no, we're still there because we're talking about beliefs. We're talking about beliefs. And so look at your own beliefs, journal about them. It's difficult to know what has been ingrained within us because that's what beliefs are. Beliefs are things that we've been taught from such a young age that we don't realize that they're not true. Yeah. And being able, how you manage to pinpoint something that you believe, specifically on something like money. If you think that only bad people have money, then you can't be rich because it's not something within you. You cannot, it's a disconnect. You do not want to be bad. So then you just repel the money that would otherwise come towards you. Yeah. And riches have different definitions to different people. You again need to decide what it is that you want. In fact, that's one of the basic grounds. When you say that you want to be a business owner, why? What is your why? Why do you want to be a business owner? You need to really go back down to your motivation. I'm moving away from the word purpose because I feel that a lot of people, myself included, I used to feel that the word purpose was a burden because I never used to know what my purpose was. Now I know my purpose presently is to empower women. So welcome to the show. But there's a time when I used to think that finding my purpose was this journey that I need to just keep striving and striving for. And then I just used to get frustrated because then I don't know what my purpose is and other people know their purpose. You know what? Purposes can even change. So let that not be your fixation. If you don't know what your purpose is at this point in time, relax. It's fine. It's fine. It might come to you later, or you might have been having different ones that keep changing. But in terms of business, you need to understand why you want to start a business at all and that particular business, because that will guide your direction. It becomes your business compass. It determines what you can and cannot do. I was quite happy because I when I was thinking about my business and just trying to chat it out and do things around it, I came to a notion of creating an offshoot, an offshoot that is slightly different from what I was doing. So my business is business development coaching for women. So I support women who are starting their own businesses in everything that goes from the ideation to figuring their ways around marketing and their business plans and those kind of things. But I support it in terms of bringing it out of them. So more the confidence to rely on what they know inside, and some guidance around certain bends in trying to figure things out, because my background, I am a lawyer and have been doing business development for quite some time. Else. So I was thinking of creating an offering for men. And then I realized that no, my purpose, my why is to empower women. And so if I were to provide business development coaching services to men, that doesn't further my why. So it became easy for me to close that door, because it's just not aligned with what I'm actually trying to do in this world. I feel that I am here in this world to help empower women. And that's where I want to concentrate my energy. Okay. There's I don't know where to start. Oh yes, that's something that happens when you don't know where to start. And I want here to give the example of when I was writing my book, Date Like Cleopatra. This is my book, Date Like Cleopatra. When I was writing this book, I needed a lot of help. And the thing with being in contact with your inner self is that it gives you a light upon your feet. Isn't that what it says in the Bible? You don't get a floodlight that shows you everything that's going to happen, but you get guidance on just the next step, So when I got the inspiration, because even that came to me, the inspiration to write this book, then I was just scared. I was scared of every step and every turn. So I got the inspiration to take a course. There's a course that I did on writing. I'd done it before and stalled. Then I got the inspiration to go back and finish it. I got the inspiration to get readers who are reading the book at the very, very first draft before it was in any sense proper. Because I wanted to be sure that there's something that I'm doing to get that kind of reassurance. I got the guidance to use my course for development of the chapters. So I had someone within the course that I was doing read every chapter and then just give me guidance on the things that I could consider, and just a lot of encouragement, because I needed a lot of encouragement. I read books that told me how to dictate my book, because my typing apparently was very slow. I didn't expect that. We have a call. Let me cancel it, then we'll get back to them later. So all of this to say that there's a lot of steps that I took. I took a lot of steps in being able to bring out the book, but all of it was inspired, because when I started out, I could not see the full. I couldn't see myself at the end point. It took me forever to even call myself an author, even after the book had been written. Yeah, because I hadn't believed again that was the person that I am. But now, when you say that you don't know where to start in your business, get help. There are lots of places that you can go and get help, depending on where you are. The internet is, of course, also a wonderful resource, but get people help as well. Sometimes it's talking to someone who will be able to guide you or give you some kind of feedback. Sometimes, like in my own case, in starting my own business, because I'm here in Stockholm, I'm in Sweden, then I wasn't too sure about the business registration process and stuff like that. So I got help and I made calls. You don't have to do it alone. You can get support around you. Okay. And that was it, because the last one was connect to yourself. Connecting to yourself, your inner voice, your higher self can guide you. It knows everything. It already has all the answers. So how to connect to that part of you is through silence, taking time alone. This voice, the narrator, as I've called it, the one who's always constantly talking, it's very difficult to silence them, but sometimes you can silence them as you breathe. Just watch the breath coming in. You just imagine a picture in your mind of the air as it comes into your lungs and how it goes out. That is one of the ways of silencing it, because you're getting out of your head and into your body. That's one of the key ways of getting into your feminine energy as well. Masculine energy is a lot of logic and thinking. Feminine energy is about being. Yeah. So if you can connect to your inner self, that really is the key. Because with that, your inner self has the guidance to everything. It's connected to God. It's your divinity. So it knows all. And you just then need to trust it and let it guide you in the direction that you need to go into. Ladies, it's always beautiful having you around. I look forward to seeing you next time, and let me know in the comments how you're doing and how your business, whether you've started and whether you're scared and whether you're stalled, and one step you're going to do to take this forward.